Good evening. It is after 6. Good to see everyone. Thank you for coming to the Liberty County Board of Commissioners meeting. For our first meeting for the month of April. Spring has sprung. And I hope you all had a great Easter holiday for those of you who celebrate that. Mr. Mosley, has the meeting been properly advertised?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Let us now stand for our prayer and our pledge of allegiance.
Let's pray. Most holy and righteous God, we come to you right now, thanking you for this day. Thank you for grace and mercy. God, we thank you for this commissioners, the Board of Commissioners of Liberty County. We thank you for their families. We thank you, God, for every person that assists them doing the things that they need to do to make the decisions for this county. God, we pray right now that you will give them the wisdom they need to make godly decisions and correct decisions to impact this community in a greater way, that we are all Liberty County proud. In Jesus' name we do pray and give you praise. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bishop Page. Good to see you, my friend. We're going to proceed proclamations. We're going to do them all, and then we'll do the photo op. So let's start with Earth Day, Relay for Life, and then we'll bring up Ms. Erica for the National Public Safety Telecommunications.
Good evening.
Hello.
I'm Dr. Karen Bell, the Executive Director for Keep Liberty Beautiful, with my crew. These are wonderful board members of Relay for Life and of Keep Liberty Beautiful. We will start with Earth Day. And just to say a little bit before we do the proclamation, Earth Day, we are so excited. It'll be on April the 18th. Which is a Saturday from 10 to 2 at Bryan Commons. We are looking forward to have your family, you, to be there, to have a wonderful day, to learn about how to protect and how to have fun in our environment. We look forward to hopefully the county planting a tree to remember our 20th year here in Liberty County. If you decide to do that, we will give y'all a tree to plant somewhere of your choosing. Just please let us know, and we'll read the proclamation.
Proclamation designated April 18, 2026 as Earth Day in Liberty County. Whereas the first Earth Day was created 56 years ago on April 22nd, 1970, recognizing the importance of every person in preserving our natural resources. And on that first Earth Day, 20 million Americans rallied for a healthy, sustainable environment. And whereas all life forms of Earth have a right to a healthy, sustainable environment, and as caretakers of the planet, we all have an obligation to change the human behaviors that contribute to climate change and environmental degradation to preserve the Earth's beauty and its resources. And whereas Liberty County is blessed with a wealth of green space, which enriches the lives of both residents and visitors alike, providing habitat for varied flora and fauna, sustainable natural resources, and many diverse recreational opportunities. And whereas many local community members, schools, businesses, and environmental organizations are working together for the interests of the planet to inspire intergenerational participation through local actions and global environmental consciousness. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Donald L. Lovett, and the members of the Liberty County Commission do hereby proclaim April 18th, 2026 as Earth Day in Liberty County. And I encourage all citizens to become engaged in local and global efforts to help improve the environment. Dated the 7th day of April, 2026.
Woo-hoo. And just a side note, remember we will be giving away free fruit trees and flowering trees. You do have to register for the trees, pick them up by 1 o'clock. If not, they'll go to another citizen because we don't want to bring them back. We want to make sure that they have a house to go to. You can do that online, on our Facebook page, on our website, look in the newspaper. You can call us if you want a tree. free. You have to sign up for it. And this year, we'll be partnered with Infinity Gardening, and we'll be doing a workshop, a mobile garden workshop, $10.80. You walk away with a 5-gallon bucket, dirt, 2 to 3 plants or seeds, a watering can, a trolley on wheels, that's to move it around, and instructions and plant food for $10.80.
I think they all want one. They want tonight.
And I guess we'll move on to Relay for Life. We are inviting everybody to come out to Relay for Life. That's May 1st. 2026, our survivor dinner is at 5 p.m. We're at the Liberty County Recreation Department where the football field is at Stanford Pavilion. Is our 5 o'clock is our survivor dinner. If you know of anybody that has cancer, caregiver, please invite them. Let them know. That's why we do what we do, is to celebrate them and to support our caregivers. And then the event kicks off at 6 p.m. You want to be there early. We have our youth. We'll start doing their entertainment at 6:15, and then we'll have our opening ceremony after that. We hope that everyone will come out and to celebrate, to honor, and support. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody can say they have not been touched by cancer. Either they have it, they know someone, or know someone that have passed for it. So please come out and support.
And you may as well make reference to how well Liberty County does financially.
So last year we surpassed our goal. This year I made it a little higher, and I think we're on track to surpass that to over $100,000. We have some great sponsors, great teams, especially like SNF, that really are a big powerhouse behind our efforts. But I think it takes everybody in our community to make sure that cancer research goes a little farther each year, because we want our survivors to have not just this birthday, but more birthdays, and then another one, and then another one.
Thank you, Mr. Mosley.
Proclamation, Relay for Life of Liberty County. Whereas the American Cancer Society Relay for Life movement brings together 4 million people at Relay for Life events worldwide to show their determination and commitment to help free the world from the pain and suffering of cancer. Whereas cancer continues to touch the lives of so many, in 2026, more than 1.6 million people will be newly diagnosed with cancer in the United States. Whereas, thanks to funds raised through the Relay for Life movement, the American Cancer Society is able to invest in cancer research, provide free information and support for people facing the disease today, and educate people about how to reduce their risk for cancer or detect it early when it's easiest to treat, contributing to a 23% decline in cancer death rates since 1991. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Chairman Donald L. Lovett, and Liberty County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 1st, 2026 as Paint Liberty Purple for Relay for Life in Liberty County. Encourage citizens to let their passions inspire them to take the Relay for Life message to more people to raise more dollars to fund our shared determination against cancer by participating in the Relay for Life event at Liberty County Recreation Department on May 1st, 2026 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And all cancer survivors are invited to a survivor dinner on May 1st, 2026 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Stafford Pavilion in Hinesville, Georgia. So declared on the 7th day of April, 2026.
Hi, Mr. Mosley, Ms. Hunter, just hold right there. Ms. Erica, we'll hear from you.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. I appreciate the opportunity today to recognize a group of professionals who are truly the unseen first responders of our community. This year, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week is April 12th through the 18th. This week is set aside to honor the men and women who serve as the vital link between our citizens and emergency services. These dedicated individuals are the steady presence and calming voice on the other end of the line when someone is experiencing what is often the worst moment of their life. Before a deputy arrives, before fire or EMS is on scene, it is the telecommunicator who answers the call. They gather critical information as best they can, provide life-saving instructions, and ensure that help is sent quickly and efficiently. They do this while offering reassurance and guidance, but often without ever knowing the outcome of the situation they help manage. Our telecommunicators work long hours, nights, weekends, and holidays. They miss family gatherings and personal milestones so that they can be there for others in time of need. They must think quickly, act decisively, and remain composed under pressure, all while handling multiple emergencies at once. What makes that role even more remarkable is that their work is often done behind the scenes, without recognition or visibility. Yet their impact is felt in every life saved, every crisis managed, and every emergency that's responded to. Tonight, we have the privilege to shine a light on their service, their dedication, and their unwavering commitment to public safety by taking this moment to formally recognize and thank them for all they do for our community. I respectfully ask the board to recognize National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week as the week of April 12th through the 18th. Thank you.
You.
Proclamation, National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, April the 12th through 18th, 2026. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that requires police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Liberty County Emergency Communication Center, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety, and whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Therefore, be it resolved that Liberty County Board of Commissioners declare the week of April 12th through 18th, 2026 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Liberty County in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our county and citizens safe, so declared on the 7th day of April 2026.
Dr. Bell, you're gonna separate Earth Day, okay, well, the Earth Day support team, please come stand behind us, and then Relay for Life will follow, and then Miss Erica. Who's got the paper? Who's got the proclamation? Help that.
They were hide.
This one is for Earth Day.
I feel in.
One, two, three. One more. Okay. Jacket.
You putting down money? Come on out, Bill. Oh, you carry it, Everybody ready? Everybody got
One,
the
two,
Relay for Life look?
three. One more. Okay.
Okay. Right. Give them a hand again for that volunteerism. Thank you, guys. A lot of volunteer hours goes into that. Appreciate these people being consistent.
Okay.
You know that's a hard task.
Commissioner Blunt, can you move a little bit? This couldn't see you. All right, 1, 2, 3. 1 more. 3 minutes. Okay.
Give Miss Erica a hand for her. Thank you. It's good to know you're there. It's good to know you're there. Commissioner Stevens, remind me, we have an announcement before everybody get out of here. On April 13th, we will dedicate our new Susan King Taylor Park at Jones Creek. April 13th, 10 o'clock. Everybody's invited to come to take part in that historic occasion. April 13th, 10 o'clock, Jones Creek, Susan King Taylor Park, Jones Creek, Isle of White Road in Midway, Georgia. Please join us. All right, Commissioners, now we have to approve our minutes for the month of March, and I was looking back, I got March 3rd, 16th, 17th, planning workshop,
17?
and 19th. I think I have them all. So that's 3rd, 16th, 17th, 19th. Chair, entertain a motion.
Chair? Oh, go ahead.
A motion, is there a second?
Justin?
I second.
Y'all good?
Yeah, I second. Okay.
Hold on,
Anyway,
Commissioner Blunt.
Justin.
Drum point. Okay, we got one correction. The computer probably did, but it says Brum Point, which just a Drum Point Way.
Oh, clerical?
Yeah, so we'll set the minutes with that correction.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, show your hands, please. All right. Y'all with us? Y'all got it? We good? Okay, all right. Thank you. All right. Recognitions. Who's going to introduce the introduce the effort first, and then we'll do the,
Y'all handle it.
Good evening, Chairman and County Commissioners.
good evening.
I'm going to wait for my colleague.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. A strategic vision, collective investment, and continued momentum provided the path for celebrating excellence today. On behalf of the Division of Economic Development at Savannah Technical College, my colleague Debbie and I are honored to stand before you this evening to celebrate an exceptional group of Liberty County leaders who launched an initiative aimed at strengthening and advancing the workforce throughout this region. Leveraging the power of we, a team of leaders initiated by Keith Payne, Laura Woodworth, and Samantha Richardson came together for the first managerial leadership training program representing the Triple E Academy of Liberty County. The Triple E Academy Pillars of Success reflect a culture of efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence. In an effort to unlock potential and elevate performance, the Liberty County leaders explored how principles shaped strategic goals, shared efforts for inspiring their teams, and engaged in collaborative discussion, resulting in a unified vision for achieving momentum and growth. As this exceptional group of leaders move forward in their commitment to optimizing new opportunities, broadening strategic goals, and thriving through excellence, the return on investment will drive higher performance, ignite engagement, and impact innovation throughout the workforce and community. Thank you again for allowing Savannah Technical College to join Liberty County leaders along this journey. At this time, we would like to begin by acknowledging the following. Keith Payne, for his dedication and commitment
We will
by
come down.
starting.
Let us come down, if you will, please. Rebecca, we down?
Just for a moment. Keith Payne for his dedication and commitment by starting the conversation, and both Laura Woodward and Samantha Richardson for providing insight and feedback in support of the training program launch. Now we welcome celebrating the team of leaders. If you would join us up front, Keith Payne. Up front. Just go on, there you go. It's up to them. Samantha Richardson. Oh, you want to do pictures? Okay. Well, we'll just hang out and do pictures. Okay. I'm glad you're feeling better. Laura Woodworth. Laura. Samantha Richardson. Brian Darby.
No comment?
Carol Sturla. Christopher Mo Morrison, Jr. David Oagan. Did I say it right? Close. I try. I get them wrong every now and then. Jean Long. Michael McCurt. Here comes the judge. Q McCullough. Yay! You came. I wasn't gonna try. That's what you wanted me to call you. Raymond Gross.
No comment again.
Did I say it wrong? Oh, gross. I don't like gross. I like gross.
That's what it is.
Gross. I did okay. I got everybody's names.
That's inside.
Sorry, Raymond. And Tony Mullis.
We give him a hard time anyway.
That's okay. I can handle it. They know I can handle it. Now, unfortunately, we are missing 4 of our team leaders tonight, so we do apologize. They were unable to attend. That would be Anissa Edwards, Crystal Hensler, Heather Pezzanetti, James Sharp, and Ricky Gilliard. So unfortunately, they were not able to be here. So now it's over to Keith. You want to turn it over to Keith? And he can say a few words.
First, I want to thank Commissioner for allowing us to have this program. Initially started with just within my office and then expanded into this. The main thing that I think we got out of it is we learned that we're dealing with the same thing. Managing is not easy, and I'm sure you guys know that. And to have this county runs as a circle. If one department is down, it affects another. But we got the opportunity to not just know each other through emails, but got to know a face and got to know personalities through that time. And I think that bond is going to help the county going forward as we go. And we hope to keep this program going. We have underlings under us that definitely need management as part of their coming up within the county. But again, I just want to, one, thank the inaugural class. We had a lot of laughs, but we also, I think everybody got some out of it. And that's what the feedback has been. But again, thank you, and thank you for our wonderful teacher who was nervous today. But again, all this is just for Liberty County. We want this county to be ran correctly and ran with integrity. And as the 3 E's, can we all say it together? You gonna put us on the spot? Effectiveness. I love that. But thank you again.
The low budget.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna take a.
Now, go ahead, Chairman. You guys get in there like you like each other. Come on. Debbie, go ahead.
You want to get a little closer?
Okay. Look at me, look at me.
And the 3 E's are?
I know it. Efficiency, effectiveness, and excellence. Good job.
Tony killing me. All right, y'all have a good one. Appreciate you.
We look forward to the fruit of that investment. Thank you. Congratulations again to that inaugural group. All right. Department reports, Mr. Ricketson. And this is public hearing, so Chair, entertain a motion to go into public hearing for commission use.
So move.
Second. Further discussion, all in favor, show your hands, please. All right, we find ourselves in public hearing. Mr. Ricketson, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Chairman Lovett, members of the board. We have 2 advertised conditional use requests this evening. First is a type B home occupation that's been submitted by Mr. Zachary Zito to have a gunsmith business, which includes assembly of firearms and firearm components. This property is located at 2384 Mount Olivet Church Road in District 4 in the Fleming community. You can see here on the slide here, we've got our ad that we ran in the Coastal Courier advertising this public hearing tonight, as well as the sign on the property. And this just gives you a location, Mount Olivet Church Road, Fleming Loop Road here goes all the way up, pretty close to the Fort Stewart boundary there. You can see the property is located right there. And this is just a little bit closer up property, just showing that this is a roughly 2-acre residential, single-family residential piece of property located there on Mount Olivet Church Road. Thank you for the lights. Okay, and this is just a zoning map, just showing this area is zoned A1, agricultural. And this is the future land use map, just showing the yellow here, which means that this is low-density residential, recommended for low-density residential and the future land use plan, and that's what it's being used for. And the narrative just says that, I'm turn my hand at reading this. He wants to run a gunsmithing business out of his home. Predominantly, most of the work will be done in his garage. All gunsmithing and hand assembly is performed without industrial machinery or industrial manufacturing processes. There will be no walk-in customers. All work will be by appointment only and shipment-based, including dealer-to-dealer transactions. There will be no retail, storefront, or exterior signage, which means that it'll look just like a house, except for as home occupation business. The work primarily will be performed indoors within existing enclosed structures, the garage, workshop, et cetera. There will be no exterior storage of firearms, no detectable excess noise, vibration, smoke, or odors outside the residence. No change in the residential character of the property. Business will be fully accessory to the residence, and there will be no firing of firearms or live fire activities on the property. There is a shooting range, a licensed shooting range that you've approved in the community, the Rod and Gun Club, and I think he intends to test all of his weapons on that range. So this is his narrative, and this is his home that he plans to conduct the business out of. And this is the picture of Mount Olivet Church Road, looking south back toward Leroy Cofer. And this is looking north toward Fort Stewart, and you can see the sign on the property. Our conditional use criteria, there are 6 of them. The use shall not adversely affect the economic values or the physical appearance of the neighborhood or areas surrounding the site or lot in question. We answered no to that. The use shall be consistent with the comprehensive plan and with the purpose and intent of the land use district. We answered yes. A home occupation in a residence is consistent with the comprehensive plan and with the intent of the land use district. Number 3, the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the use shall not be detrimental or endanger the public health, safety, or general welfare. We've indicated there that it will not. Number 4, will this create a undue burden on transportation, including streets, transit, schools, utilities, or provision of public safety? We conclude that it will not, as the additional traffic will be negligible. Number 5, the design shall minimize adverse physical, environmental effects on adjacent properties, including adverse visual impacts. Buffer zones where necessary to shield any adverse factors shall be considered. We answered that yes, as there will be no testing or discharging of firearms on the property. And then we have not identified any additional measures that would need to be done, since he's not making any physical improvements to the property. All the work will be done inside of his house. And the Planning Commission heard this at their meeting back in March, and they do recommend approval with standard conditions. Just for your information, these are the home occupation requirements for a type B home occupation. Not more than 1 non-resident employee. They're not going to have any non-resident employees, so they will meet that criteria. B, customers may come to the resident on an infrequent basis during daytime hours, not more than 1 or 2 at a time. And C, retail sales of goods may only be incidental to the home occupation. So again, Planning Commission recommends approval. I'll be glad to answer any questions, and also Mr. Zachary Zito, the applicant, is here if you have any questions of him.
Will the applicant come forward, please? State your name for the matter of record, and just give us your 1-minute overview of your request, sir. And then we'll ask Commissioner Blunt to.
My name is Zachary Zito. I appreciate you hearing me today. My business will operate in full compliance with state and local regulations. All firearms will be securely stored. Access will be strictly controlled. Safety is my top priority for the community. This is a regulated appointment-based business and will operate in a controlled, low-impact manner. My goal ultimately is to run a low-impact business that serves customers responsibly while being a good neighbor in this community, and I look forward to operating safely and transparently with my community.
Has anyone signed up to speak, Mr. Mosley? No, okay. All right, Mr. Blunt, your statement, sir.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to let the public know that I've talked to several people in the neighborhood around you. Some were concerned at first because they thought it was going to be a rezoning and all. Once I explained to them it's nothing to do with a rezoning, it's a conditional use and all. And I explained to them your gunsmith business and everything, basically everything Jeff just said. I haven't found no one in opposition of this and all. So therefore, I make a motion that we, can I get a motion now?
Well, before that, any other questions, comments from, okay.
I got one.
Yes, sir.
Jeff, did you say that there was gonna be some storing of ammo? A small amount?
Yes, sir.
What's that amount?
It varies. I mean, I already store my personal ammo.
Okay,
There's really not going to be that much difference.
I swear, Emma.
okay,
I mean, I keep it in military like ammo cans.
okay. All right.
There's really no regulation to kind of store it.
I'm not worried about, just worried about the safety of it. Just in case if you have a fire or something break out.
Oh, yes, sir. No, I
Yeah.
plan on storing it in ammo cans.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chair, and to the applicant, because, I mean, I understand this approval, but also you have to be approved, from a state and federal standpoint.
Just federal and
Right.
ATF will
Or
not.
ATF.
Yes, sir. ATF will not come even give me the time of day
Until you get
until I
approved
get
here.
approval from you guys.
Right, I was just clarifying that. So this is, even once we approve it, you know, he still has to go through, with federal, with ATF.
Yes, sir.
Tobacco and firearms. So
They'll come and do a home inspection,
Right.
and they're going to come talk to me and make sure everything's on the up and
I
up.
understand the process, absolutely.
Then Jeff, after that time, does you all get notified that that's happened, or that's,
ATF
just-
will, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Go-
you
go
off.
ahead.
ATF will contact zoning to make sure that I have received approval.
okay. All right. Any other question before we entertain the motion?
Right, so there's checks and balances on the local and federal level.
Yes, sir.
All right, Commissioner?
Yeah. I make a motion that we approve this here conditional use permit for Mr. Zito and all, for his gunsmith operation.
I second that.
Second, we approve the request as presented by Planning and Zoning, and with full explanation and definition from the applicant. Just make sure you follow all the rules.
Yes, sir.
There's no opposition today, but if you don't follow the rules,
No, I
it
understand.
could be so. All right. All right. All in favor of the motion, show of hands, please. All right, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next,
Okay, Chairman. Our next conditional use request has been submitted by Mr. Kyle Christensen on behalf of John Usher for a veterinary office. Property is located on North Coastal Highway, and it's also in District 4. It's, you can see the parcel number there. Here's our ad in the Coastal Courier and a picture of the sign on the front of the property on Coastal Highway. And here's a picture of the property located on Coastal Highway. You might recall a few months ago, we had a zoning request on Shavetown Lane here. So it's, this is just across the street from the intersection of Shipman Road where it comes into North Coastal Highway. Rod and Gun Club is just slightly north of here. And this is the zoning map, just showing that the property is currently zoned AR1, which is compatible with a veterinary office as long as you get the conditional use, which he's asking for here tonight. And this is the future land use plan. As you might recall, the frontage along North Coastal Highway is shown as mixed-use rural corridor, which would also support an office, and then the back of the property is shown as low-density residential. All right. This is just a picture of looking back toward Midway from the property. This is the subject property. And that's just looking into the property. It's already, you can see it's already cleared. And this is their narrative, pretty straightforward. Mr. Christensen is in the process of building a veterinary office. The proposed office building will be approximately 3,600 square feet. There will be 14 parking spaces associated with this and 1 handicap space for a total of 15 spaces. Access to this property will be off of US Highway 17, Coastal Highway. And this is the concept plan. You can see the driveway coming off of Highway 17 here into the property. This is a 3,600 square foot building. You can see the parking and driveways arranged around the property. Well is located here on this side of the property, and the septic tank drain field will be back in this corner, and then there's a repair area for septic tank drain field here. So pretty straightforward site layout. It'll have to be an engineered layout before they do construction, but this is sufficient just to kind of give you an idea of what he's proposing to do. And back to the conditional use criteria, the use shall not adversely affect the economic values or physical appearance of the neighborhood or the area surrounding the site or lot in question. It will not. Number 2, the use shall be consistent with the comprehensive plan and with the purpose and intent of the land use district. We answered yes. The plan designates the future land use as mixed-use rural corridor in which a veterinary office and a kennel are permitted use. Number 3, the establishment, maintenance, and operation of the use shall not be detrimental or endanger the public safety, health, or general welfare. No, it will not be detrimental. Number 4, the use will not create an undue burden on transportation, streets, transit, schools, utilities, and public safety. It will not. Number 5, the design will minimize the adverse effects on environmental effects on adjacent properties, including adverse visual impacts, buffer zones where necessary to shield any adverse factors shall be considered. Yes, that's been done. And then we haven't identified any additional measures that would need to be taken for that. The Planning Commission heard it at their March meeting, and they recommend approval with standard conditions. And I'd be glad to answer any questions. And Chairman, this was also advertised as a public hearing, and the applicant is here if you got any questions.
Mr. Applicant, will you please come forward, state your name for the record, and give us your elevator pitch?
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Kyle Christensen. Thank you for your time this evening. My pitch will be pretty quick. I don't do real good in front of people. I do way better in front of dogs. I practiced in Richmond Hill for 30 years and sold clinic to a corporate and didn't go as I planned. They didn't do what they said, and I was better off moving on, so I'm under a non-compete for about another year. So this takes about this long to get things done and moving, and I'd love the opportunity to come to Liberty County. Instead of going back into Richmond Hill, I think a move south is better.
Anyone signed up? Yes, sir. Commissioner Blunt, what's your experience with this request, sir?
I've talked around the area. Once again, I haven't found no one that talks against this. They're in favor of seeing a veterinary business come. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Don't take it the wrong way. I'm all for what you want to do. Why just a conditional use versus not rezone this?
I talked to Mr. Long Trent about that, and he said a conditional use was instead of rezoning and then a conditional use, because I don't think there's a zoning. My understanding was there's not a zoning for a veterinary clinic it was just as easy to ask for a conditional use. Since I'm not doing any outside kennels, everything's contained. We're not doing any boarding. We're going to be a hospital, not a boarding facility. This was the path of least resistance and fastest.
Nice way to put it.
Mr. Rickard, expound on that.
Veterinary clinic is explicitly an allowed use in the agricultural areas with a conditional use. So it, rather than change the whole zoning, it fits perfectly with the current zoning of the area.
Okay.
Much better answer than mine.
That's where I was going with it. Thank you, Jeff. And I wanted to just clear that up to everyone watching and everything.
Sir, you said you got that advice from Trent Long?
Well, they had, between both of them, they had said that. Should have gone somewhere else.
So are there any neighbors?
Mr. Usher, the owner of the land, currently sent letters to all the neighbors and had no callback or no questions, especially since there's nothing outside, no outdoor kennels or anything like that.
We also sent letters to the neighbors as required. We got nothing, no calls, and nobody came to the Planning Commission and spoke against it.
Okay.
I've really do that several times, and I've talked to some people, I haven't found no opposition.
Okay. Chair, any other questions before Mr. Commissioner makes a motion? Everybody's good? All right.
I make a motion that we give Mr. Christensen, his conditional use request per Liberty County LCPC, upon their approval and everything.
Second.
Everybody,
Yes,
look,
second.
hey, it sounds like you got a really great chance to get this approved.
Awesome.
I don't know, everybody say it. That's one, yeah, one of y'all.
Either one, don't matter.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Will that be the only veterinary service
On that side?
on that side of?
It'll be the only one on this side. Yeah, there's currently a couple in Liberty County. And the only other one is down in Pine Harbor way down. So this will be the only one close to Richmond Hill and sort of in between both.
The area grows, then you're in the right place at the right time.
I hope.
he's right there just down from the gateway and everything,
Yeah.
coming into 196 and everything like that.
The growth's coming that way with Hartwood and Richmond Hill and everything coming south from Midway and 95. I think we're a little ahead of the curve on this one, I hope.
We encourage. All in favor?
Told you.
Thank you. When he mentions the gateway, we are on a campaign to improve the aesthetics of Liberty County coming into the major thoroughfares, and 196 Leo Crawford is one of them. So
Awesome.
please let it be something that's,
It will be
Conducive
very
to
aesthetic,
be-
it'll be very aesthetically pleasing.
thank you, sir.
All
Look
right.
forward
That's
to
what it-
Thank you, guys.
I like you, thank you, sir.
it. I see.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Yes. All right. That all, Ms. Ricketson, for you? Sir. All right, Sharon Tatum, would you come out of public hearing back in the regular session?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, show your hands. All right. State Court Annual Report. Mr. Hawkins.
Good evening.
Good evening.
When I was here last time, y'all voted on the state court contract being confirmed. The Superior Court was what we were coming for. You'd asked about reports, so I dropped them off. I don't know if y'all got them or not. So I did the calendar year for 2025.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if you have any questions. You want me to talk about it a little bit, or?
Talk about it a little bit, sir, yeah.
Okay, so the previous company, before Judge Osteen kind of brought us to you to bring us in, they weren't having many revocations, which is basically somebody's violating, they're bringing them back, holding people accountable. Collections weren't, they were averaging like $35,000 a month. You can see by the numbers, that's greatly different. Part of that is when we came, Judge also wanted to do a pretrial program. Pretrial is great for all parties. If you think traffic ticket, you get a traffic ticket, the last thing you want is your insurance to get hit. So they've created it through the governor. Governor Deal did it when he was in office. Do a class, pay a fee that's the court decides, and then the court will dismiss it if you're successful. So doesn't hurt your insurance. It's not on your record long term. So by creating that program, it helps the community in multiple ways. Obviously, you get the fines and the fees. And the person getting that traffic ticket, it's not killing them long term. They can do it with minor theft, things like that. Make them take an anti-theft shoplifting class. Also, the fines usually attached to that. Do both of those, it gets dismissed. So it gives people second chances. So the person that's in their early 20s isn't jobless because nobody wants to hire somebody who's got that conviction on the record. So, but by doing that, plus what we do, I think at a higher standard than most companies, these numbers are drastically different than I'm sure what you got before us. If you have those records, I'm not sure.
Okay. And there's an anti-theft class?
There is, yeah. I mean, there's that. I mean, there's making changes, basically how to think through things. The driving class, a lot of people think stay between the white and the yellow. It really has nothing to do with that. It's how to react to other drivers. Somebody's on your bumper, how to best react. Somebody pulls out in front of you,
You want to give that tonight?
Right. Well, it's not my class. They got to go do it. But I mean, that's kind of the idea of is change behavior, less recidivism.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Some of the other numbers on there, you see community service work, so 11,000 or a little over 11,000 hours were worked for community service, people giving back. That community service converted, that's fine money. People are issued a fine for whatever the crime was, but they're indigent, just they can't afford to pay for it. So we bring them back or ask the judge in their without their presence to convert that fine to additional community service. So they have the ability to work it off for the people that just can't afford it. So it's, nobody's going to jail because they're poor. That's not what we do. We want to help people get things done, give back whatever they did wrong, make the change, and hopefully never see them in that situation again.
One final question was, says termination successfully closed and unsuccessfully closed? What are those definitions?
So those are kind of weird numbers. Department of Community Supervision determines what is unsuccessful. So what is unsuccessful is the judge has issued a warrant and the case expires. If that happens, either there's minimal days left when the warrant was issued, or we failed, and to get the case told in time. The other option is a person had a warrant, they got arrested, and the judge revoked that person, didn't allow them to go back to probation, potentially let them stay in jail a little longer. And then successful is what we would all think is successful. With the caveat is if I'm really bad at my job and I never bring the person back to court, they never get a warrant, and they do nothing, DCS would still consider that person successful. Seems odd. So that I wouldn't consider that successful. It's not really. Pretrial would be a lot different. So you can see on your sheets, one of them is with pretrial. Oh, you don't have it actually that way. Pretrial successful is they did everything they were supposed to. So that would be where that number is so large. We don't really have that many probation cases, but we have a lot of pretrial cases.
So Samantha, when he says the numbers are a lot better, I hate to use that expression, but so that's reflected in our revenue side of the house for, okay. And those revenue help to offset the cost of that office, okay.
Oh, there's no cost to us at all. We are free to the county. The defendants paid for us to supervise them.
So they have a separate.
Yeah, so there's no cost to the county, the court, nobody. We do this, and if you're on probation, you have to pay to be supervised.
So the revenue he's talking about, is that shared then, Samantha, with some of the commission? Okay, okay. All right, just trying to learn where you.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Any questions,
All right.
gentlemen?
That's it.
Appreciate it.
All right, I think the next one is me as well, the Superior Court agreement.
Yes, I see it.
So it's exactly the same as the state court one. It just, for whatever reason, it didn't get brought together.
Yeah.
When we were here last time. And if you look at the annual report for that one, it's drastically different, because the only ones we get out of that court is if they plead down, instead of a felony, they plead to a misdemeanor. They would give it to us, but if it's a felony, we can't handle it. Department of Community Supervision would have to take that. So we get way less cases, so the numbers are gonna be drastically smaller for the volume.
Okay.
Commissions that I know, Hawkins is saying there's no difference. No cost, just giving us a report, okay, all right.
Yeah, the only difference from both the contracts are the same. The only difference between the previous contract and this contract is a $2 increase for our fee, which is less than 4% over the last 5 years.
I mean, what you're asking for is a minimum, is this time sensitive at all?
May 1st, I believe, is when when our current contract expires.
As some people say it's with you, I mean, it's minimal. But if you want time to.
It's exactly the same as the state court. The only difference is the title of the court. Like, there's no change.
Fine with it? All right.
That's
Chair,
good.
entertain a motion then.
I second it.
Motion and second, we approve the request as
It's
presented.
pretty well, it's the same.
Yeah.
First discussion.
Yeah.
All in favor, show of hands. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Property and casualty insurance renewal presentation, Mr. Seville.
Okay. This is Brandon, my son.
Brandon, how you doing?
I like to take all the
Good to see
credit
you.
for this, but he's the guy, he's like the duck, he's the one paddling. So, we got together, was it Thursday? With Samantha was there, and Mr. Mosley was there, and Monica, she's the does all the paddling on your side. And you've done a great job getting everything together. We had to get all the schedules done. That was your first time through those. And we could only get them in a PDF, so we were trying to match up all these hundreds of vehicles. And you've promised me we're going to have Excel next year, right? That's right. And so I think we'll, we may have to tweak a few things, but we ended up writing an AI program to match them all up and see what was added and deleted. So each of y'all has the worksheet that we usually use in front of you. And the renewal came in really good this year. It was almost flat, which I haven't said that word in a long time.
Coming with us, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it had no increase in it. So we tweaked a few things when we got into it. You'll see down at the bottom, it's about 9% higher than it was last year. And the reason we did that was last year we had, right at the very top, we had $1 million limits, and we increased that to $2 million limits, which means if we had $1 million claim, it doesn't use up all the limits in one claim. So I felt a little bit more comfortable with that and felt like we had a better foundation on that particular line. So that was a small change. It didn't have a lot of impact on the premium. The thing that had most of the other stuff just stayed the same, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on that. But the property, when we met Thursday, we were talking about FEMA and how slow it's been getting the Helene stuff, recouping that. We still have stuff outstanding, right? And back when Joey was here, I guess it was, we took the limit on the property insurance down to $25 million. And we've got, property went up from about 206 to 210 this year. We added, I think, that EMS building and a couple other things. And we felt like it was prudent to take that limit from 25 million up to 50 million. And part of that reason is the property market has softened. And when I say softened, the prices have gotten lower and the terms have gotten better. So we had, we checked with Ms. Richardson and to make sure we had been budgeting it. And we've been building up our reserve fund for the last couple of years, isn't it? And so we have a healthy reserve fund. And we felt like this was a good time to take that up to 50 million from the 25 million. And that makes me more comfortable with it because, the detention facility is 35 million. And then we have this building, the courthouse, and other buildings close together. So we felt like it was a good time to do that and gave us more security and less reliant on FEMA. Now, FEMA would come in. If we had a $50 million event, FEMA would surely show up. It would be something they would be involved in, and they would step in behind this. The first thing they ask is, do you have insurance, and how much is it, and let us see your policy. So that's sort of the major change that we made on this. This doesn't have the health department in it.
I was going to ask that question.
I got that right.
You answering all our questions at the same
Yeah,
time.
I saw those fingers. I saw that hand.
You saw me, I was kind of low.
Come on down. So it doesn't have those, there's a couple, is it two buildings?
Administrative, yes.
EMS and that we got to add back to that. And those won't be finished till mid-May. So we're going to go ahead and add them on this renewal on May 1st because your builder's risk will stop when you start moving stuff in there, your contents and things like that. So it's better to have a little bit of overlap before you get your CO, especially on those size buildings. So that's sort of our mindset on where we are this year. And I want to see if you have any questions or if I can go into more detail, unless you have anything.
How do you know at this point, in transition, how do you calculate what those premiums will be for those two?
For those two buildings?
Yes, sir.
We could take the average rate that's on there and sort of calculate it that way. So I don't know, Samantha, you're good at numbers. I'd have to figure out what the average rate is on the
Kind of walk me through
whole thing.
this educators' health department, going from an older building
Uh-huh,
to a new state-of-the-art,
nice building.
more efficient, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So what am I doing to the premium, making that move from the 1980s building to the 2020?
That should be a better premium, and the construction's gonna be better too,
Okay.
you know?
So less risk.
So they look at the construction and the age
Okay,
and the roof on it, you know, if we have a windstorm or something like that.
Okay.
And, you know, our insurance has a 5%, because we're coastal, 5% of the building value for a wind and hailstorm. So, you know, a $10 million building, that's $50,000. So that's why we're building up this reserve fund if we have an event like that. But we've had, we've buffered most of those, and we haven't had hardly any losses. And that's why we carry the low
Can someone
limits.
quote the reserve fund, even approximate?
She doesn't like to tell what's in her reserve fund.
FY '25, we put almost $1 million aside for property auto casualty.
Yeah, deductibles, things like that.
And what I like to ask is, for our county, is that a good number, or should we be considering?
I think we're doing better than most.
Oh, really? Okay.
It probably will, see, we'll set that much again aside this year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're accumulating enough. And then usually if you think about Helene, this is still going on. So when you have a claim or even one of these higher deductibles under the general liability and auto, those take several years to work their way out, so before you pay things out. So you also have the ability to predict before the budget year comes, if we need to put anything else in there.
So that healthy reserve he's representing is our lifesaver for having to cover those expenses until FEMA send us most of our money. I know it's not all in, but yeah. Yeah, we might need to get an update too. It's been a while since is that still just totally in their hands for the final? Are we waiting like for the final payout, or what we would consider the final payout?
Yes, sir. Bob has been constantly monitoring that. The last thing that I remember him saying was that FEMA was supposed to be cutting the check to GEMA, because it goes to GEMA before it comes to us. So that's what they were waiting on.
I'll just check on it for us. Okay, all right. Okay.
It should be coming soon.
We've been hearing that more.
Mr. Chairman, I have one question. So going back to the premium for those two other buildings, maybe
Health
ready
department,
to occupy in May, would that be before budget approval? So that we would have a number thereabout in our
Yeah, well-
budget line item for these two facilities? Okay.
Well, actually, probably, once we figure out the amount, we should be able to know that number before the next meeting when we approve this,
Okay. Yeah.
I think. It'll be an estimate at that point, but it'll be close.
And our leased vehicles are under these?
How many?
The leased
The
vehicles.
least, yes, they
Yeah,
are.
yeah. Enterprise,
With Enterprise?
those vehicles are on here? Okay.
Yeah, and most of those are well, y'all been through the Enterprise contract, but we talk to them constantly to make sure. She just puts us straight in contact with them, so we know the Enterprise person pretty well.
So the amount of vehicles that we have from Enterprise, how does that really affect? Does it make a big change? The amount of vehicles that we have from Enterprise. Years ago, we were buying them all out, straight out. So when we switched to Enterprise, what was the difference?
It doesn't really impact, it doesn't change. it doesn't change from an insurance perspective, because we pick them up just like you owned them.
Okay.
And we have to name them as lost payee and so forth.
Okay.
But that's a constant, that's happening every month.
Okay. So, last question. What's the difference between this and VIFS?
This and VFIS. I'm sorry, I don't hear very well. Well, the is Chief here? Yeah. Yeah, there you are. He handles all of the VFIS stuff, which comes up on August 8th. Is that right? And we have about 53 vehicles under that? 56, sir. Something like that. And we're getting ready to add 3 more. And so that's a totally separate policy that we have that's designed specifically for fire departments, and covers all the equipment that goes on the engines, and gives us agreed amount, in other words, a non-depreciated amount on the engines, the fire apparatus.
Ambulance too, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Ambulance.
Yeah. And EMS, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't read lips too well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. What else we got? Anything?
I do. Mr. Chair, just real quick. Back to the property limits. And you said that we're going up to 50 million. And I know in the past we were at 25. And then I can't remember what year. I remember
About 2 years ago, we went
whenever you
down.
came in front of us and we decreased it because you were saying, we were overpaying for
Yeah.
it, because if we do have some type of particular disaster, that FEMA would kick in anyway.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
So I guess the question now is why would we go back to a higher?
Yeah, it's a good question. We looked at it, the price had gotten so high 2 years ago was one consideration.
Okay.
But usually when we look at the property schedule, we'll look at the highest valued building, which is the detention center, which is at, it's probably it's where you would go in the event of tornado. You could go into the detention center if you had to. You probably wouldn't send everybody to the detention center, but it's that level of construction. And so we have more confidence in the construction there from a wind and hail standpoint. So that's why we went to the 25. But we have the construction costs have gone up, the replacement cost of these have gone up, and then we've got several buildings right here together. And we just felt like we were more comfortable with the 50 than the 25 based on that. And the last reason we did it was we felt like that kept us from getting into FEMA quite as much as, FEMA would be more of a catastrophic event. And this would keep us within our limits, because FEMA sometimes takes a while.
Okay. And
That's-
and I guess the other one, when we're talking about vehicles, are we doing better with vehicles not being totaled out? As I know in the past.
Yeah, I think we are.
We've had issues and concerns
Yeah.
where it was even harder for us to even find some
Yeah,
insurance.
I think we have a big yes on that, don't we?
Big yes?
We've, sheriff's doing better on those vehicles. That's our biggest exposure. And,
So no more, never mind.
you would know it if you were having a lot of them, because it would show up in your deductibles.
Yeah.
And that's why our reserve fund's increasing.
Okay.
And we're trying to manage, sheriff's doing a good job managing the high-speed pursuits and how those are conducted. So we try to make sure that policy's in place and being adhered to. They do a good job of that.
So is this information for tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just doing elementary school math, 100 and what? $40,000, $50,000 difference.
Something like, it's about 9%.
Yeah, excluding whatever the premium will be for the health department.
Right.
Yeah, okay. But we think the health department is going to be
What's the?
maybe a better
value
number
of
or not an outrageous number. It's a bigger building.
60 million?
16.
16? I thought he said 60 million. 16, yeah. I don't think it's going to blow you out of the water with the number. But we'll go back to them and we'll get together and figure those numbers out, and so that when we get to the next meeting, we'll have some estimate of it.
Okay. Samantha, what I was thinking was, kind of like Commissioner Frazier, I know you kind of play juggling that with the deductibles and all that, but if we can work our final numbers where it's close to a break even, that will help us with our budgeting process. Don't put me at too much risk now. I don't want to go, you know.
So for the general fund, it has, since we're partially self-insured, it has been setting aside the same amount as when we had those really high premium years.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is just eating into the reserve for the difference. It's fully covered under both.
Okay.
Same flat or increasing the 8 or 9%.
Mm-hmm.
But we can certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we look covered, that's a good,
Right.
that's, okay. With reserve, okay.
Yeah, I'm an accounting guy, and so she and I, we get together and till we keep talking until we get comfortable.
And to wind up not having to use that reserve, be even better. Somebody pray, somebody pray.
Yeah.
All right, you know.
Okay. So I'll probably come in this way next meeting, and, but y'all look through that and we can answer whatever questions, and we'll have the information on the buildings.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Staff has vetted it, you guys have vetted it pretty well, okay. Samantha, you guys are comfortable? Well, yeah, but get to give a look again at, one last look. Yeah.
All right.
Anything else? You good?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, good to see y'all.
First to purchase.
And we need to budget for 3 more fire trucks.
I'm gonna say, trying to save money out here. Chief Darby, Chief Marston, Deputy Chief.
Chairman, Commissioners, before I get started, I would be wrong not to recognize my boss, who is turning 39 today. So I do want to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy
So-
birthday.
Birthday. 39 plus a couple years. So, Chairman and Commissioners, I'm coming before you tonight to discuss a requisition for an approval possibly for 3 fire trucks. 2 of these are engines and 1 of them is a tender. Tonight I want to show y'all and brief y'all reasons why this request is here. So, without further ado, NFPA 1910 is a governance and guiding book that fire departments operate off of. The brass tacks of 1910 is that there are 3 segments that it recognizes fire trucks with life cycles. 0 to 15 years, normal operation. 15 to 25 years, that vehicle can be used, but it should be used limited and in a reserve capacity as much as possible. After 25 years, the vehicle should be retired due to some safety factors, risk analysis, risk assessments. So through this, for us, the big takeaway is we've got to start planning ahead of time for vehicles, because unlike tonight's situation, I bring you hopefully a golden egg tonight, but normally fire trucks can take anywhere between 24 to 32 months to manufacture. And tenders can take anywhere between 18 to 24 months to manufacture from the date that we get the approval from y'all. So lead times is very, very crucial. There's something that was pushed through U.S. Senate back in September in regards to this and wanting to find out why increases in lead times have gone up astronomically. And it's not just affecting us, it's also affecting our counterparts in EMS across the board. So, apparatus replacement urgency. Right now, we have 16 apparatus countywide on the fire department side. Of those 16, 9 of them are over the age of 15 years old.
Who that is?
5 of them are over the age of 20, and 4 of them are over the age of 25 years old. So with this, some of the concerns that do come up are safety risks. We do, as Mr. Bob Seville was just here, VFIS comes and does a safety standard check on all of our vehicles every so often, and we have to meet certain benchmarks. We can do upgrades to certain trucks, but only to a certain level. But currently, we are sitting 9 of our vehicles over 15 years of age. Our oldest in-service vehicle is a 1991. So this slide here is your current vehicle status. Just in the almost last 4 years alone, we have spent $452,000 on emergency repairs for vehicles. This is not just oil changes. This is motors going out, transmissions, pumps, other major critical structures, fuel systems. We are actually here recently having to replace all of the fuel cells on our 2010 fleet that we bought because they were steel tanks and they are now corroding and causing rust in the fuel systems, and we are having to buy aluminum tanks just to fix some of the fuel issues. So up here, there are 2 vehicles that the commission has approved that you see $0 next to. Reason being is those vehicles are under warranty. So any of the repairs that we have been done have cost us absolutely nothing. So as we continue on, the repairs are going to cost more and more. One thing I do want to explain to, because there's a huge misconception, well, it's a 1997 vehicle with only 34,000 miles on it. That is correct, but pump hours also, because when we're out there doing our jobs, flowing water, that transmission, that engine, and that PTO are still turning and still getting wear and tear. So the national average and what we have gotten from our county shop, as well as some of our fleet managers, on the low end, we can go much higher, 30 miles per 1 hour of pump hours is what we're equating. Other areas and entities use a much higher number, 60 to 70 hours per 1 hour. We are on the low end. We're being conservative with it. So, but that is where the total mileage is coming from, because that's actually driven miles versus pumped hours on these trucks. Moving forward, I come to you tonight. There are an opportunity to purchase 2 engines with equipment, 1 tender with the equipment. Normally, equipment will run you per engine anywhere between $150,000 to $170,000. That is all rolled up into this cost. Again, you heard me talk about lead times. These engines can be on ground here within the next 30 days. This tender can be on ground here within the next 6 to 8 months.
How?
Because these vehicles are either been produced, as bad as this is going to sound, they're trying to clear out the end of the year stock. And we've just somehow gotten our hands on this golden nugget. When I started talking with the county officials about this, there were 5 vehicles, and in less than 3 days, that went down to 2. 2 vehicles left to grab from. Because people from across the country are picking up these end-of-the-year deals, sir. But it's not guaranteed that it's going to happen every single time.
I know, but in the beginning of your presentation, I thought you said it was a 30 to 45 month.
Correct. So these vehicles were produced for somebody else, and they did not pick them.
Credit in, the check in cash?
So they pay a penalty because they didn't pick it up, and then now they're getting resold. So no owners, no miles on it outside of test miles. We would be the first owners of it. These are brand new 2026 vehicles, a 3-year bumper-to-bumper parts labor warranty. That supersedes the current warranty that we have on the 2 newest vehicles that we have. In fact, the purchase of these vehicles is through who we do our outsourcing of mechanic work for, which is Brackett. So that they are already maintaining a lot of our fleet when county shop can't do some of those repairs. And so they're already down here, already repairing our vehicles. So it's kind of a good necessity for us. We're not having to buy from somebody else, which is what we're facing right now with our recent 2024 engine. It was bought by a company, and they have to send a whole mechanic straight down from Atlanta to come and touch it.
Chairman. I was going to ask you about Brackett, but they come here?
Yes, ma'am,
to
they do.
repairs?
Yes, ma'am,
But
they do.
They do more than the oil change, the maintenance?
Yes, ma'am,
If
they
one
do.
goes down?
They do everything from even our pump replacements to our pump service testing. And they, on our ladder truck, they do, through their third-party source, do our tip test and our non-destructive test.
The other thing, and maybe Ms. Samantha, or would there be trade-in value? Are you going to trade anything in?
So as of right now, no, what we're going to take that model of these older trucks and put them in reserve. Reason being is because our fleet right now is,
So you're going to continue to spend money to get them repaired, and you're putting them in reserve?
we're going to, so there are some vehicles that we are going to release. And yes, I've talked
Only
with,
three.
there's,
Three.
we're looking at getting rid of 2 engines.
Are you going to get rid of 2? And you're
Correct.
going to purchase 3?
Correct. Well, 2 are an engine and 1 is a tender. So 1 is firefighting and 1 is hauled water.
Okay. And where's the money coming from to purchase these items?
So we recently met with the CIP committee a couple of weeks ago and discussed a proposition for the board to use funds that were originally designated for the health department.
Excuse me?
Ma'am?
Did you give us a copy? I know I was on CIP, but did you give me a copy today?
Of the quote that he,
No,
Where the money's coming
of the
from?
CIP that we looked at.
You know,
Oh.
I was in your CIP meeting.
yes, ma'am. That's,
Where
this
the
is,
money was coming from to purchase these 3?
no, ma'am, I have not provided that,
Okay.
but I will.
Go.
So the funds available were originally designated for the health department facility, which is anticipated to be completed under budget. We have confirmed that the remaining construction funds may be reallocated for the capital purchase in compliance with state law, and that is
I guess my
what
family
we are.
entertainment center can't get no love, huh?
Well, these funds have to be expended within 18 months, and
Hey, I can make it
the
happen.
account liquidated.
I promise you.
But yes.
But I appreciate it. Thank you for the funds. Chief Darby, just a quick question. I know in the past I've requested some information from you.
Yes, sir.
You know me, I'm the, and I get, everybody like new toys, and I'm not trying to be funny by that.
Yes, sir.
But how many fires do we have in Liberty County on an average that you all, hello, 911, I have a fire at my house? Because, you know, I've asked in the past, why we keep buying engines when the majority of our calls are what? The majority of our calls are who?
Our medical.
So why don't we, you remember I've talked about us getting, you know, response vehicles.
That's been completed, sir.
Right. So now that we got a response vehicles, but we still need more tankers.
100%, yes, sir.
Okay.
Because what we are legally bound to do is the fire stuff.
Kudos. I understand, and I appreciate y'all's
Yes, sir.
service. But what I'm saying is, how many fires?
I know that I had provided a copy of our stats in everybody's mailbox at the closeout of December. I don't have those numbers. On average, guesstimating, nothing to extremely hold me to, 20, 25, 50, 55 working structure fires.
Structure fires?
Yes, sir.
55?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But a firefighter, and I do want to say
Oh,
this.
no, trust me.
Fire department success is not measured by the number of fires you respond to, it's measured by the number of fires you prevent.
Exactly.
Doesn't change the requirements of the necessary equipment.
Right.
Chief, that does not include vehicle fires, does it?
Doesn't include vehicle fires, brush fires, the fire alarms that we are legally bound to respond to. So no, it does not cover any of that.
Chief, knowing the situation we have in some districts, can you elaborate on the urgency and the ISO ratings and all, how this will affect all of Liberty County, not just certain districts?
Oh, 100%. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is here in the last month, we ran the risk of having to shut down a fire station. 100% ran the risk of shutting down a fire station here in Liberty County due to vehicle readiness and vehicle availability. So if you have to shut down that fire station, we have to make public notice. You make public notice, that also means that everybody else turns and knows about it, and you run the risk of ISO getting that. ISO turns around and changes your insurance premium or your ISO rating. That now changes everybody at home's insurance premiums, And it's not going to change for the better, it's going to change for the worst. So there have been phone calls made to Mr. Mosley saying, hey, I'm at a critical point, got to get a fire truck up and going. If not, we've got to shut down a station.
One of our stations.
Yes, sir.
So if it's Gum Branch, you have to shut down. That affects Fleming,
100% it does, yes.
the whole entire county.
All over Liberty County.
Yes, because our
All of Liberty
ISO
County.
rating is not per district, it's for Liberty County unincorporated as a whole.
I've been up here for a while now. You know, I've heard the conversation about ISO ratings and if we went from volunteer to full-time, that it was almost gonna be a guarantee that people ISO ratings was gonna go up. And then now I hear that it's all up to the individual homeowner's insurance. So that's not true.
I think we've been consistent in saying it's been, I remember Joey Brown saying that.
And I remember
Every
when Joey.
insurance company is different.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
and that's,
Most
that's,
of them do get a lower premium.
So I know for us, we're issued the ISO rating. Insurance companies can pick whether or not they want to use ISO.
If they
We have no control over that, sir.
And I
No.
remember the folk in Isle of Wight celebrating because when you put in the station down there, it helped a lot of them with their,
We had received 67 phone calls in a 5-day period from the Isle of Wight community when that station went into effect. And on average there, it was about $1,200, but you'd use whole numbers. You save $67,000 to taxpaying citizens in 1 week.
Gum Branch when we,
that's right, in Gum
when
Branch
we
too.
stood
I
that
remember
first
that.
one up
Yeah.
there. So,
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah.
exclusive, but it.
Um,
And we had the fund
And,
fit.
I mean, we were in Riceboro probably, I think, 2.5 weeks ago dealing with a 40-acre fire. Took a lot of units to put that out. 15 additional homes that we had to protect because forestry is only there to plow. We do structural protection, so we have to send those units.
I heard the news say, were you all at the fire at Rainier?
We sent our air trailer. We have a unique asset being that mobile cascade system. But yes, sir, we did. We sent the mobile cascade system out to the Rainier fire.
All right, so the bullet points. These trucks are readily available
Yes, sir.
through the CIP, y'all, the
Yes, sir.
committee, you
They are
identified some
available.
funds. And this is your recommendation from the CIP committee, use
Right.
some of those funds for?
And Commission, Chair Commission, if we turn and do this at a later point, right now, there's approximately a $1.7 million savings by going through what's proposed to you tonight versus us at a later point,
Yeah.
as well as being faced with the long lead times. So this is not only savings of funds, but also savings of lead times.
Chief,
Sir,
just for information, if the truck did not have equipment on it, what would it?
approximately $150,000 to $170,000 worth of loose equipment, because when you buy a fire truck, it doesn't come with it, of loose equipment required per unit.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you ready for a motion?
You almost making it sound like a deal.
This is a deal, yes, sir.
What'd you call it, the golden egg?
It's golden egg.
All right.
Yep.
Chair,
Mr.
entertain a
Chairman,
motion.
I make a motion, we approve the purchase of 3 fire apparatus.
Second.
In 2 seconds, we approve this purchase as presented. Thank you for laying it out for us so we can fully understand and appreciate what this means to our county. Certainly we want our staff to have equipment that's working,
Yes, sir.
and we don't want to do anything that would make us digress the progress we've made with fire service in Liberty County.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get $1 for the kids up here. It's rough, boy. Been asking for Family Entertainment Center for
Commissioner
14 years.
Samantha Blunt's talking about, he mentions how we are, what's the word, recouping the cost of this through save funds from, you mentioned the health department that's coming under budget. So
Yes.
then we have funds that we could use with some conditions to it.
Yes, sir. Those.
Help educate the public.
Oh, yes, sir. So this is, this purchase is from our 2024 series bonds, and the Health Department did come in under budget. And we have to use, we discussed this with our bond counsel, but we have to use those proceeds for capital only, and it has to be expended within a period of time. And any interest earned on those funds, in addition to the bond yield, has to be paid back to the U.S. Treasury. So all of those calculations have been completed, and we do have available funds left. And this, after meeting with the departments and elected officials, we brought the most urgent items to, to Joseph and then to the CIP committee, and this was certainly at the top.
All right.
Just one more question. So you were saying that basically some funds that we still had allocated for the health department.
Yes, sir.
So I guess the question that I have is this going to deplete all the money?
There's another item that we'll bring back to next, the mid-month meeting. But this was the urgent matter for the fire trucks, but we can certainly, there's some additional savings that we had from FY25, where I'm proposing that we consider doing some capital improvements with it, and the remaining portion of the bond funds. So this
Anything for the
is
kids?
the majority.
Nothing for the kids in there? Okay,
That is for the county.
For the county, yes.
I got you.
County.
Thank you.
All in favor? Opposed? All right, motion passes, one opposition. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now, so these people are waiting to hear back from us that,
Yes, sir.
and what's the expected time of delivery, that kind of stuff?
The engines will be within 30 days from signing of the contract. As soon as I make a phone call, I should have the contract first thing in the morning. And I'll get that up to Mr. Mosley to get it to y'all for signatures.
Okay,
No, not.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. T-Splosh funds,
Mr. Chair, I want to briefly also share that this is through Sourcewell, so it's a state contract. They didn't disclose that, so we'll be able to tie in. We've been a part of that for some years now. Okay, Mr. Chair, we have two resolutions. One is to transfer some funds from T-Splosh over to the trails and Trail South roads. We talked about this at our meeting, and this would, Mr. Long had estimated at 1.185, if you have your sheet right here, it estimated at $1.185, having some LMIG for this year, a contribution of 509, Commissioner Gilliard, some funds, and transfer of 376 would take up for that. And of course, Mr. Long always liked to put in 10% contingency, so that would help get this project moving forward. He has started some of the surveying of the land there, but not only he's going to be doing repaving in the area, but also doing drainage issues, making sure you address drainage issues in the area. So that will get that project moving forward and get the funding laid out for that project.
So we're moving, the 376
Yes, ma'am.
coming from these two, the Lewis Fraser project
Yes, ma'am.
and median sidewalk on Bacon Town. Okay. And that was in District 1.
Right.
Mr. Chairman.
yes, Commissioner Gill.
Yes, now, I remember we had a committee when these subdivisions that we didn't own, and we adopted all of them, and, I think we even, we had a committee, I think it was Commissioner Stevens, Commissioner Blunt, and myself, and it was several of them, and we put them in some order. And after going back and forth, it was decided that the trails was, I guess, the most in need. And it was my thought at the time that all the commissioners was gonna try to do something. And then I think when we got to the list, they wasn't able to. Now I jumped straight out and gave 300,000. Looking behind me, I thought that everybody else was gonna do the same. But all of a sudden, when we didn't get it, we found some money from other projects, from the mandatory projects. And I guess my question is, if I gave 300,000 and they met the other needs by going on this mandatory list, that they was, what they got off the mandatory list, or what we got off the mandatory list, was that short of 300, or if I'd have took the 300 back, could you have gotten the rest of it? Maybe I didn't pose that question right, but.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we could.
I did?
We could.
You could have?
Yes,
Well, let's do that, because I can do some other stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I thought we all was lining up to do this.
And Mr. Chair, during that time when we had that discussion, Commissioner Gillard, my obligation to that one particular project that I had on board was very, very expensive. So now looking back, since we did some value engineering over there, that, my pocket's not as deep as yours to be able to get 300,000, but I think I might be able to give something. But again, I still looking forward to, Mr. Long still here? Oh, there you go. Oh, and he's awake. Hey, what's up, bud? And, the sidewalk projects as well over there, off of Bacon Road and stuff.
Well, Mr. Chairman, this was mandatory projects, and then all of a sudden, we're going to take it out of mandatory. Who decided that? That we were going to move it from I know it's in District 1. But who decided that? I mean, $2 million, just Commissioner Frazier maybe could have used that on that road out there that he was trying to get.
That's a decision y'all can make, ma'am.
Yeah, I think we all, if it's mandatory money that's, that you could go in there and get some of it. Then,
Yeah, well, we start going
I think
in.
we all will go in there and get some if you got a project and you come short of it. I mean, I gave the 300 because, for years, we were sitting here talking about the trails.
Especially the trails, absolutely.
And we couldn't do it.
Right.
And then Arcadia came up and, said, no, not that one, not that one at this time. Let's go with the trails. I said, okay, well, I got 300. And then it was it stopped. And we're still going to do it. And so how are we going to do it since no one else had available funds? And I fully understand that you got projects in your district. I got projects in my district. And if I didn't have any, I could go find some. I got 3 cities. You can always find something, a sidewalk or a ditch or something. But I said, okay,
you got 3 cities and I got 4.
let's do this. And so I committed, obligated 300, and that was it. And we said, well, we'll get the rest of it. And the question is from where? And we go to a list that's got all kind of numbers beside it, and you get it, and it's short of the 300 that I gave, where if I wouldn't have gave that, it looked like to me that we could have went there and got the whole thing.
And
other projects, where, like Justin needed something on Live Oak. I mean, if we got a list over here, it's like I ain't gonna call it a slush fund, but you go over there and you get what you want, minus what I already gave. And if I know that we were doing that, I wouldn't have gave nothing.
And why is Interstate Paper still on here?
Because that one's going, I think the chairman is going to put that one to improve,
trying to recall.
to actually speed
Go
the
ahead,
project up at
Go ahead.
Barrington Ferry and 119.
Go ahead.
The roundabout.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, on interstate paper, to go to my next resolution, interstate paper was a project that y'all had talked about. And after y'all were talking last year that we really wanted to expedite the movement of the traffic circle at Barrington Ferry 119. And that having these funds would expedite the project. We got the funds for the roundabout at 119 and 17, but Mr. Long would tell you having the state funds as part of that project is how long, Trent? 3 years now in planning. So, and so this project, moving the funds ahead would also help him expedite the planning, and he wouldn't have to go through at this particular intersection. If he was getting state funds, you got historical with the 2 churches, you also got environmental stuff. And so that project will be slowed down. And then thirdly, the chairman wanted to try to tie that project in with the completion of the bypass.
Right.
And so if you've been out there during that intersection, the traffic is horrendous. So by having those funds moved, again, expedite that project and get it moving forward.
Was that a work session we talked about that? We talked about that.
We talked about all of this at the work session.
Also, it's not new information.
Right, I wasn't saying it was new,
This one's
but.
not you?
Yeah.
Or
No, no,
the
talking about
interstate?
Both of them.
We talked
The
about,
interstate, I understand, because, you know.
Talking
of
about the Bacon Town
situation
Road
with
too,
it.
because
We did.
Stevens says no need to put sidewalks
Right.
and a median at Bacon Town
So
Road.
what are we
Right.
gonna do? Should we split that up among districts? Or just start pulling from it as needed?
But it's up to us how you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you want to pull
Mr. Long.
376 from that now?
Well,
I-
Commissioner Gilliard is saying he might want to
No,
reconsider.
No, what I was saying, Joe, was that, you know, when we decided to do the trails, we had nothing. And we talked to all 7 commissioners. Eddie may not have been here. We talked to all 7 commissioners and said, let's do something. And I said, okay, I'll give 300.
We did.
And like I said, I looked behind me and there was nobody there because they had something else to do. And then it comes up. And I didn't know, when I hear the word mandatory, that means it's got to happen. It's there. It's like, it's etched in stone. It's mandatory. It's going to happen. But because no one else did 300, which would have gave us, do the math, 2.1. I know Samantha's not here. She can count a lot better than I can. But we'd have had over 2 million. But we didn't get that. So where did we get it from? We go to the mandatory list and start pulling out. And I didn't know you could do that, because if Justin knew that, he wouldn't have been asking for sidewalks and curb and gutter from Belmore to 196. He just went to the mandatory and got him something, if you could do that. But again,
I'm in District 2, I'm not in
You
District
can't
1.
arbitrarily go to mandatory. You have to agree.
Yeah.
And then.
but that's what we're doing tonight, is agreed, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I didn't know that you could.
I didn't even know that it was a process to get to this.
We talked about that in the work session, and we talked about that. It's no secret.
Oh, I mean, but I guess I asked for that money
Yeah,
prior to the
well,
work session.
in the work session, that was the first I heard that mandatory was there
Right.
if you wanted to.
You can, but there's certain, and Kelly talked about, there's certain, what's the word?
Criteria?
Yeah, you can't just build a chicken house with it or whatever. I think.
Yeah, well,
As long as it's
but you can do road projects
you
with
can
it.
do road projects.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's what you was talking about on Live Oak, Justin?
Yes, sir.
Keep my 300,000, and I'll know next time before I open my big mouth that I could go to,
To the mandatory.
hey, let's use
We
that.
can go back.
No, I gave it, and I'm good. I done already told the people over there that I had some money for them. So
Hear me very well. We can go
I'm
back.
good with that.
Mr. Chairman,
I just thought I'm never gonna be broke again, as long as there's a mandatory that I can dig from.
You can't do it arbitrarily. You can't,
All right, young
you can't
boy.
cherry pick.
Mr. Chairman, for get a better unison on that particular project, do you want to just wait? We can have another work session and we talk about that. But on the other project, we move forward with it.
Trent done put this thing together. I done gave what 300. We done went to mandatory. We good. I just know that I got an ace in the hole.
You got ace in the hole.
An ace in the hole. And I think we all know we got an ace in the hole. That's 7 aces. If Eddie.
Yeah, but, you know, on the LMIG, we all gave a little bit on the LMIG part, but anyway.
We did.
But I mean, you can't go in here on this mandatory and look at some of these items on
Some already
the
done.
city of Hinesville,
No, you can't touch that. No.
E.G. Miles and Liberty Regional median.
No.
I don't think we
you-
can touch that
You
one.
can't touch
We
that.
can't mess with theirs. But
No, but
In
all
fact,
these
we
others.
had to even get the, what's the word, the consent, I guess is there, from the city of Hinesville, so they were, the large municipality to even do the interstate paper transfer. They had to say, because we're using the same district.
Right.
And it's a project that's, as Sam was saying, a high priority project, getting that roundabout done so that when the bypass is done, it all comes together.
Right,
But Hinesville had to say, yes, okay, you know,
Right.
we agree with that, because it's a county project that's gonna help the whole county.
Okay.
But you can't
They
just choose, you can't go down the line and say, I want this one, this one,
But
this one.
they don't have to approve this one.
No,
No.
no.
But also, Mr. Chair, what you're saying is, and Mr. Sloan, I'm just trying to figure this out. You're saying that we're using these funds because it'll expedite. So basically, bypassing waiting on the state
Right,
requirements.
for the roundabout.
Right.
No, we're not necessarily, we're taking it on ourselves to make the improvements so that we don't have to.
That's what I just said, right?
We would really never get through the state historical preservation and the, environmental process.
Oh, so you don't think we would get approved? Because
But if we do it on our own,
they can't.
have consent from
From
all
the-
the neighbors, then we can do it.
So you're saying, even if we get consent from the neighbors and we presented it to the state, they will still disapprove it?
Yes.
Because the historical,
Yeah, first AB and,
Chairman,
The bill.
if you had a chance to go through some of the GDOT classes that they have, one of the things is called the plan development process. It is a very tedious process.
I mean, I get it.
He
but-
can tell you, probably what he's using to design with the state funds now, he can do it probably in half the time. on
Right,
that
but I
project.
was just, but I mean, I get that, but what I'm saying is, you know, from you know, the process of government, I thought it was federal, state, and local. I know we have some local authority, but what I'm saying is, so we could do that even at the state, and the state can't come and tell us that we can't do it if we do it alone.
If we go, we get our permit, we build it, and then we present it to them, then yeah.
Okay.
If you, they'll let you build anything.
I don't know about
I mean,
They're not afraid of taking a good product.
no, because it's gonna help, of course,
Right.
them too.
Right.
That intersection of their road. And then we are talking to them about, what's the word, adopting, that's not a good word, you know, Barrington Ferry.
Move 119 to Barrington Ferry.
right,
Yeah, take it out to 17, it'll be state.
yeah.
Come on, state highway.
But we're kind of working on,
Oh, so it's sort of like how Commissioner Gillard in Homestown, how you did the road, and then it went to the other district? Mm-hmm. That's it, right? Cool.
Yeah, here's money, I got it.
all right, so Commissioner Gillard,
I'm good.
you good?
I'm
Don't
good.
tell me you're not good, not, you're
No,
not
no,
good.
no, I'm good.
All right.
But again, if, you know, we had a committee, and when we all adopted the roads, we all were fired up about it. But then there was obligations, and we didn't do it. And then we're still gonna do it.
We're still gonna do it.
And then you won the how, and the how has been explained that we're going over here where no man has gone before.
But you very well know the trails is just one, we got some more to do, so there'll be plenty of opportunities.
Well, it'll be time to go where we went tonight
Yeah.
for the rest of
And
them.
we just say we exactly know where to go.
Where we-
now.
'cause I
You
was
can't
cra-
cherry pick.
I was crazy about Arcadia, and they talked me out of that with my own money.
Yeah, you can't cherry pick. All right, so,
It's all Liberty County.
so commissioners.
Especially when you spend somebody else's, yeah. Okay, I'm good.
Are you good enough to make the motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, make the motion.
I make a motion that we make.
I was gonna let him make the motion.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
This thing that Joe had here?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that, we use the project for $1,185,000, that we move forward with the project to, for the trail subdivision.
I second.
That's clear enough. Motion and a second.
That's clear enough?
With a whole lot of discussion, and I understand very well. But y'all gotta help me out, because we talked about this in the work session. I thought
I
it was
remember that.
clear.
Yes, sir.
So we're trying to have any secrets from anybody.
I got you.
But we don't vote in the work session, we just talk about it.
Right, we did.
And we talked about, we did use our expedite, Trent, for the roundabout at 119 because we wanted that to coincide as much as we could with the bypass.
Right.
So those folk wouldn't be just, what's the word?
Bottleneck.
Yes.
Bottleneck.
I got it. Thank you.
Which
And then the
which
other
are they
project
doing that
was
now?
Bacon Town Road, having a meeting, the sidewalk, Commissioner Stevens said, a sidewalk?
Yeah, that's what
To
I
where?
said.
Where,
Yeah.
how it got on.
And
So
that's when I said
thought,
no.
the thought was when we did that to, because it's near the complex, to provide a walking opportunity, sidewalk opportunity from that little short Bacon Town Road Street to the community complex. Just trying to do the, kind of like we did the sidewalk across the street for the kids. It was kind of do that in that area. And trying to spend money in East Liberty County too also. So it was a combo of things that we talked about. But, you know, Commissioner Stevens, go ahead.
It doesn't necessarily have to go in that
No,
district.
no.
So now we can pretty much remember, Commissioner, that this project is off the table. It's not going to be done.
That's not gonna be
because
done.
we're strong. Okay.
But like we said, the other Arcadia and the others that we adopted, there's going to be some opportunities to help keep to our word. Commissioner Gillett, we got you.
Okay.
We got you. All right. All in favor? Motion passes. Now, do we need to talk about the Barrington Fair? Are we feeling understood what we're doing with that one?
Roundabout, we're moving the money from.
D, yeah, right.
Yeah, we still need to go with that.
With the money from interstate.
That one, with the interstate money,
Yeah.
interstate paper money.
Now, if you all recall, that was the first money I was asking for.
He was.
Probably over 2 years ago.
Chair, entertain a motion on that. Mr. Mosley, do you have a handout on that too? Or is that just all of the?
No, sir, we just had the, where it came from, which was right here.
Okay.
This other sheet.
Chair?
I believe, Mr. Long, you said it was about 3.1 million on that project?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So now, the money from Interstate Paper Road is going to what project?
Roundabout at Crossroads.
Crossroad, 119 in Barrington Ferry.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, you need a
It's in
motion?
the same area, so, you know, Hinesville said that's fine, and they all realized that we needed that project to make it work, so. That's the word.
Need a motion, Chair?
Yes, sir.
Chair, I make a motion that we shift the money from Interstate Paper Road to the roundabout at Barrington Ferry and 119.
Second to the motion.
Second that.
Motion and second. Thank you, Commissioner Frazier. Any further discussion? All in favor, show of hands, please. All right. Mr. Trent, start working tonight on that.
Oh, trust me, he's billing now.
No, not tonight, because he charges overtime.
My point is, we really want that to kind of coincide with the bypass.
Come as close as possible.
Was that word you used again? Bottleneck?
Bottleneck. Mm-hmm. Because that,
Think our,
Trent, hold on.
think the,
Hold on.
hey, wait a minute, Trent, got one more question.
Mr. Chair, before Trent goes, we received notice from the state that we received some additional monies in the amount.
LRA, about 500.
About 500. And it was gonna wait, but since Trent is here, that's money that y'all can decide how y'all wanna spend it.
you want it back?
Hey.
We can start using that on the.
This is gonna be very much like your LMIC project money,
I want mine.
so,
I'm not dividing.
yeah, so, you know, this is a LMIC project type money, it's coming out of the same funds. The only difference is there's no match, so you don't have to do 30% match on this. So, be thinking about your projects and what you wanna do, and then what we can do is divvy up the money however you guys want. Let me know, we need to go ahead and, submit our application no later than June 15th. So I need to go ahead and, you know, maybe at mid-month meeting, if you guys will get me some of your roads. I know some of yours already.
There we go.
And what I'll do is I'll put together a little chart at the mid-month meeting of possible projects that we can put this money toward. And then you can decide how you want to divvy up the money between the districts and where you want the money to go.
500, you said, sir?
Yes, sir, it's a little over 500. It's like 526,000.
I yield my funds to.
All right, divide it 6.
Divide by 6. Yeah, there we go. I got it.
That's 538, 915. 538, right?
Mr. Long.
You see on this one? I looked it up.
I did too.
I didn't, I've looked it up, but it's
Five
it's
thousand,
over
not
500
15.
something thousand.
It's 500 something.
That's some change.
Yeah, it's over
Some
500, but it's,
pocket change.
you know.
All right, sir.
Okay.
538.
There we go.
915. Change.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Y'all have a good night.
you.
But y'all do know they stopped making the pivot, right?
Commissioners,
Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
listen, once again, well, we just divvied up, then you all, then from that point on, you have the opportunity to use it however you want to use it. If you want to give it to your fellow commissioners, it's up to you. All right. We just divvied up 6 ways.
Okay.
All right, your report, sir.
Right quickly, Mr. Chair, our Summer Youth Employment Program, we receive applications, and we'll be interviewing students on Saturday, the 18th, here at 9 a.m. here at the County Annex. If any of the commissioners like to participate, please come on out that morning. We'll start up at 9 o'clock. Also want to remind you, I believe Samantha has sent the invites out. On next Wednesday, April 15th at 1 o'clock, we'll be starting the budget process for you guys. Staff, we went and looked at everything, so we'll be bringing it to you all to put your touches on it and get your review and your touches. So that's on April the 15th at 1 p.m. And also, if y'all remember, we had Stifel to do a financial analysis for us for existing debt, future debt, and things like that. They've got the report done, and they would like to, they got plans to present it to you guys on the 24th of April at 6 p.m. at a restaurant in Savannah as part of ACCG. So I'd like to know who all would like to go, and we'll get that information over to them. And that concludes it, sir. And also got a proposal from Commissioner Frazier. What we'd like to,
I handle that part.
What we'd like to do is.
Just a quick question about the summer internship program. How many kids are we looking at bringing in this year?
About 23, 24, 25.
23,
something like that.
24? And the reason why I bring that up, Mr. Chair and my fellow commissioners, we created that program over how many years ago? 8, 9 years ago now? I know it was prior to COVID. And whenever we first brought that program into existence, myself, Commissioner Stevens, I know you helped with that, and our old assistant administrator.
Previous.
He's not old. He might be watching. Mr. Sprinkle. I think our first year we had like 35 kids. So the question that I ask is, why are we taking less kids now than we did whenever the program first came aboard? Normally with programs, you want to try to be a little bit more progressive and bring more in. So is it that we don't have department heads participating, or is it lack of participation where jobs, or what?
I'm sorry, sir.
Or is it a budgetary?
That's why there are
less kids today than we did when we first started.
As you're well aware, we use some of the funds for all our programs, from our youth commission to well as our summer youth program.
It was a budgetary situation.
So.
Lack of money. Okay.
So we're trying to be conservative and spend what we have, sir.
Great. So, Mr. Chair, you want me to?
Well, what we want to do, talking to Sherry, is want to schedule a meeting on the 29th, another planning workshop, so you can go in details instead of.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I just wanted to say that, this is another additional program for our youth that I know that we need in Liberty County. It's the Liberty County Safe Summer Initiative. I think everyone has a copy of it. And also I've had an opportunity to speak with some of the commissioners about the program already. But this is a program that I know that we need in our community. Our youth is not just our future. They're our present now. And I don't know if you've seen the news, if you've seen our school system, even, we had a tragedy yesterday. We as a commission body, I just want us to start investing more into our community with our youth. and not just saying it, but financially as well. And that's the point that I was saying about the program with the summer internship program. You know, we was almost at 40 kids 8 years ago, and now we're at half of that. So that means that we're not investing on that portion. But also with this program, if you all have an opportunity, because I really want to see this program get off the ground this year. And I understand, you know, we're going into the summertime now, but where there's a will, there's a way. You know, I just saw us come up with $2 million for the fire department, and for some roads. Isn't that right, Commissioner Gillett? So
You did it.
one thing about government,
Amen.
there's money whenever you want to put it behind. And I want us to see us put more money behind our future. And our future is not any of us up here, but our kids. So if I can, just please get some support behind this and not just talk about it, but can we put it up for a vote so we get some funds so we can move this project forward, Mr. Chair? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, one last thing from the administrative report.
All good news. So, Chairman, Commissioners, over the last 45 days, Liberty County Board of Commissioners under the Liberty County Fire Rescue Division, we have been awarded just over $35,000 worth of grants in 2 different grant opportunities. One, we came before y'all here recently where we were awarded the traffic incident management team for the state, and we applied for that grant, and we were awarded $9,111.86 for us to go ahead and get some additional safety items, traffic vests, road closure signs, incident safety signs. And then we did apply for the Firehouse Subs Grant, and we were awarded $25,926 even, and those funds are going to go with us standing up the licensure for our medical first responder program with our medical side within the fire department. So those are necessary equipment and aids that we're not going to have to scrounge and look for funds. Now we have a funding source. This is a zero match grant for both of them, so this is 100% free dollars. The one last thing, Commissioner Frazier, I think you're going to like this. We are exploring an opportunity with Scouting America. This will allow individuals from the ages of 13 to 18 to come and learn about firefighting. It's kind of like being a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout. All of the insurance coverage and liability is done through Scouting America, so no additional financial liability here at the county. So we are in those beginning phases to try to reach out to individuals of the younger age and have them come to the county, start getting involved in safer programs, and maybe a career for them down the line. So as I get more information on that, I will be more than glad to bring it before the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I don't know that much about fire trucks. I'm more of an ESPN kind of guy.
Yes, sir.
You talked about engines. I think I know what they look like, but send me a picture of that tender.
Okay, will do, sir.
Okay, yeah.
You want me to paint the tender?
No, I mean, you get ready to buy one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just send me that picture.
Will do.
Yeah, okay. Now, you was trying to get funny, wasn't you?
No, sir.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't know what it, I mean, it's a fire truck of some kind, right?
There is. So the fire engine, sir.
Just send me a picture of it.
Yes, sir.
It's called a tender.
Yeah, a tender tanker. You might know it in a historical word as a tanker.
But you don't have to send it. It's a tanker. Okay.
Yes, but the actual technical term for it is it's a tender for haul water. If in our world, if you say a tanker, you're actually getting a fixed wing aircraft flying overhead with water. So what you see, those airplanes dropping water out in California, those are tankers. Things with wheels are called tenders. Yes, sir.
I got it now.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either.
Well, see, and I thought I was the only one that watched ESPN. I guess y'all watched it. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll still send you a picture of it, though, sir.
I got a picture of it now. I just, I just didn't know.
Yes, sir. They carry 3,000 gallons of water.
Okay.
It's our hauled water source.
Got it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Once again, happy birthday to Mr. Mosley. Happy birthday to you, sir.
With his birthday suit on.
Chair, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Move. Second. All in favor? All right.